It's a record night for SportsCenter. Miami has the best record in the East, but will it be enough to crown the Kings? The Knicks hope to benefit from Ewing's debut single. Is Patrick Waugh any closer to the all-time wins record? He broke the NCAA rushing record, but can the Great Dane hold the Heisman pose while fighting off the sting of a stiff breeze? The Swami predicts a record run for the Buccaneers. What impact will Schilling's absence have on the Phillies record? Roger Neilson goes on the record with his battle against cancer.
If I can, as we said, in all due respect, I think heaven's a better place than Philadelphia.
And Lafitte finally steps past the shoe in record fashion. SportsCenter, where every performance is record-setting. Hi, everybody. Welcome to SportsCenter. It's great to have you with us. Bill Pidto along with Trey Wingo as we begin in the NBA.
Bill, with a great matchup. Sacramento and the Heat. Kings looking to keep their perfect home record intact. 8-0 coming in, but Miami is a pretty good basketball team. Jason Williams getting loose, and finally nice to see his hair growing back. First quarter game tied at 11. Alonzo Mourning hits the jumper. This would be thematic of the game. Later, Mourning from the other side, and then Mourning from the outside again, falling away. Zoe with 26 in the first half alone. Third quarter, game tied at 58. Zoe proving he can also go inside. Oh, Vlade Divac facial. He'd go up two. Still third quarter, Kings down 5. C-Webb trying to get his team back into it. Baby Hook. He had 26. Kings down 3. Rick Adelman looking concerned. Then in the third, Williams kicks it out to Peja Stojakovic. And the Kings go up 2 on Pat Riley in Miami. Fourth quarter game knotted at 88. Anthony Carter ahead to Jamal Mashburn, who throws it down. Nice move. He had 18. He'd go up 2. Late in the fourth, heat up 4. Carter looking for Zoe, which would be a good look all night long. Mourning 37 points, 15-23 shooting. Heat now on a 12-0 run. Tony Delk denied by Zoe. Carter brings it up, looking for Vashawn Leonard. Mourning 8 blocks. Carter 9 assists, and the Heat say so to Sacramento's impressive home winning streak. 107-97. Miami improves to 7-1 without their spark plug, Tim Hardaway. Zoe comes up 2 blocks shy of his first career triple-double, 37 points, 11 boards, and 8 blocks. And following the game, Miami head coach Pat Riley said, you know those rules that were supposed to hurt our team? Well, they're helping Zoe.
We want to thank the NBA a little bit because, you know, Zoe was somebody who was absolutely getting punished, you know, by defenses in the past. And he's not the huge center that, you know, that a lot of teams have. And teams were smacking him and doubling him and rooting him out of there. And now, you know, they got to play him a little bit more straight up and straight down. And, you know, from that standpoint, he's got some quickness and stuff. He can go by people.
Certainly went by all of Sacramento. The Heat are now 5-1 against the Western Conference this season, including 3-0 on the road. Miami's won the last 7 meetings with the Kings. The loss snapped Sacramento's 15-game home winning streak at Arco dating back to last season. And although he handed out 12 dimes, Jason Williams was just off when it came to shooting.
Sonics and the Jazz, we got a sequence for you in the second quarter. The Jazz are up 6. Karl Malone to Jeff Hornacek. A miss. Brian Russell. Oh, look at that pass to Adam Keefe. A miss. Sonics outlet it, but John Stockton there with a steal to Malone. Tipped away. All that, no one scored. Later in the second quarter, the Jazz are up by 8. Stockton to Russell, to Adam Keefe, to Malone, to Hornacek, to Keefe. Everybody touched the ball. Jazz up by 16 at the break. Fourth quarter, Stockton steals a Greg Foster pass and goes the other way. Russell, kaboom. And the Jazz win it, 101-83. 15 points, 10 assists, 6 steals for Stockton. 21 points, 11 boards for Malone as the Jazz win their 4th straight. Utah, 17 steals, 2 short of the team record. And Greg Ostertag did some things he normally doesn't do, coming off the bench for 11 points and 9 rebounds.
Patrick Ewing's jumper once again open for business, but his lips remain sealed. Friday, Ewing returned to the Knicks lineup after missing over 6 months with that torn Achilles. However, 2 straight days of declining media questions about his return cost him $20,000 in fines. Reporters' questions he could avoid. Questions about how the 37-year-old with bad knees will fit in with the team, he cannot avoid. Sixers, Knicks, Patrick Ewing getting warmed up before the game, and then, of course, the familiar greeting at MSG.
And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, our captain, Patrick Ewing.
So to the first quarter of play, and Patrick Ewing's first shot nothing. Jeff Van Gundy tells Ewing to stay aggressive defensively, or at least we're thinking that's what he said right there. And Ewing partially blocks Tyrone Hill. That starts the fast break the other way. Spree to Chris Childs' layup. Knicks by 6. Second quarter, here come the Sixers. Off the defensive rebound, George Lynch proves sometimes it's a one-man game. Lynch, great ball fake on Childs and throws it down. He had 10. Sixers by 4 at the break. Second half, Ewing still cold. Here he comes with the patented back in and the fadeaway on Ty Hilshaw. Then Ewing, perhaps being a little frustrated at this point. I don't know what that shot was. He was 0 of 8 from the floor in 29 minutes. Fourth quarter, though, the Knicks running as they did on their way to the finals last year. Spree to Camby. The Camby man can. He had 12. Knicks up by 4. More fast break. Allen Houston this time feeds Spree. Hang, hit, hurt. He finished with 31. Ewing sharing some love with Allen Iverson, and the Knicks win at 85-78. Ewing and Houston combined to shoot 3 of 23 from the floor, but Ewing did grab 10 boards. By the way, Iverson will not play in Saturday's game against the Hornets, a team spokesperson said Friday. And hey, speaking of spokespeople, the Knicks had theirs back.
Walk on the treadmill, run on the treadmill, the pre-core, ride the bike, but nothing, takes place of running up and down the court, banging, bumping, shooting, just playing ball.
If we can get our post game going, I think it'll help overall for Allen and Latrell. But again, Allen and Latrell probably going to have to adjust a little bit not to having the ball in their hands as much because we got to get the ball inside.
Well, the Sixers are in serious jeopardy when they go to New York, having lost 19 of their last 21 games in the Garden. They've scored 83 points or less in 7 of their last 8. Amazingly, though, Philly 4-3 in those 7 games. Knicks won despite being out-rebounded, and the other 4 starters for New York barely outscored Latrell Sprewell.
Detroit's starting quarterback for Sunday's pivotal game against Tampa Bay will be the same QB who has started the last 4 games, Gus Frerotte. Charlie Batch continues to have problems with his thumb, so it will be Frerotte on Sunday. The Lions and Bucks tied for the lead in the NFC Central. Both teams are 8-4. Frerotte so far 2-2 as a Lions starter. He's thrown for over 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions.
Well, if it continues, we'll have to. If it doesn't, if it doesn't show faster improvement, so that we don't have all of this unsettling type of thing, and we take the mystery out of it, and we're just trying to be fair to everybody. I mean, that's basically what we're trying to do, and yet still be, do the right thing by our football team, too. So I think it's going to reach that point, shortly.
Right now, I mean, I'm able to throw the ball, but still the problem is taking those snaps repeatedly, and I think, with that, it just swells up, so I never know how it feels the next day.
Meanwhile, Seattle starting quarterback John Kitna makes $325,000 a year. He's the best bargain west of Kurt Warner. The Seahawks want to give Kitna a sizable raise, but ESPN has confirmed a Tacoma News Tribune report that Kitna has turned down a 4-year, $13 million contract offer. Kitna will wait until after the season to work on a new deal. Elsewhere, Tampa Bay running back Warrick Dunn remains probable for Sunday's game against the Lions. An ankle sprain will probably force him into a role as just a third down back. Dunn did not play Monday against Minnesota. Green Bay running back Dorsey Levens questionable for Sunday's game against Carolina. Broken rib, did not play last week against Chicago, hasn't practiced all week. And Pittsburgh center Dermontti Dawson is questionable for Sunday's game against Baltimore. Dawson has missed 6 weeks with a bad hammy, but he did practice this week.
We head to the ice, and Patrick Waugh went to Anaheim hunting ducks and one butterfly. Waugh went between the pipes for the Avs, 1 win shy of tying Tony Esposito for 3rd on the all-time goalie list. Espo, the man Waugh patented his butterfly style after. Quote, "I watched him a lot when I was a kid." Friday, Espo could watch Waugh, say that, tie his 423 wins in 85 fewer games. We're on the pond. Here we go. Second period, Avs up by a goal. Sandis Ozolinch behind the net. Feeds Jeff Odgers in front, who beats Guy Hebert. 2-0 Avs, breaking a 77-goal scoring drought for Odgers. Hence the euphoria. Later in the second, 2-0 Tony Herkus feeds Ruslan Saleh, who beats Waugh. Ducks trail 2-1. Saleh's first. To the third, Waugh coming up with a couple of good saves here on the initial shot, and then denies Ted Donato on the rebound. Later in the third, more Waugh. Leclerc feeds Jeff Neilson, but Waugh is there to knock it away. And congratulations to Patty Waugh. 24 saves, picks up win 423 as the Lanch beat the Ducks 2-1. He's won 4 of his last 5 decisions. The Ducks are just 0-4-2 in their last 6 games. So Waugh ties Espo for 3rd on the all-time wins list, And if you look at the top 3 winning percentages among goalies with at least 300 wins, he's also third on that list, trailing only Andy Moog and Jacques Plante. He needs just 11 more wins to tie Plante, by the way, for second on the all-time wins list. Panthers, Stars. Nothing like a nice Dallas greeting in Russian for Pavel Bure. First period, no score. Mike Modano with a nice Dallas greeting to Sergei Zubov, who greets Trevor Kidd. Stars go up 1-0. They're 2-0 when Modano skates in and top shelves one backhand. His 10th. It's 3-0. Kidd pulled when he let 3 of the first 7 shots go by him. Second period, Panthers down 3-1. Paul Laus beats Manny Fernandez to cut the lead to 3-2. Ken Hitchcock has seen enough of Fernandez. Says, Eddie! Eddie Belfour getting ready to go in. 30 ticks later, Victor Kozlov loses Richard Matvichuk, and then he loses the puck behind Belfour. This is a brand new game. A 3-0 lead half been squandered. Third period, though, Jamie Langenbrunner coming in and beats Mikhail Shtalenkov. God bless me. And the Stars go on to win by the final score of 4-3. Thus, Dallas improves to 10-0 this season when scoring 3 or more goals. They should do that more often. Dallas is 6-1 in their last 7 games. The Stars lead early in this one, 3-0. It was their first 3-0 lead since the season opener.
Philadelphia Phillies ace Curt Schilling needs to have his pitching shoulder scoped and won't be ready to go until May. Schilling missed most of the last 2 months with shoulder trouble, but still finished 15-6. This is a blow to a Phillies team that has acquired starter Andy Ashby and closer Mike Jackson this offseason with hopes of making the playoffs.
Well, now that Charles Barkley is gone, the Rockets need to find some new lift. They went to Boston in search of it, where the Celtics were determined to remember Sir Charles of a different uni. That story and much more coming up with Bill and I on SportsCenter.
Also ahead, Chris Berman's 2-minute drill. What advice does Keyshawn Johnson have for the Swami?
And if the shoe fits, wear it. Lafitte Pinkai hoping to wear the crown that belongs to Willie Shoemaker as the jockey with the most W's.
And did the Blue Jays have to break the bank in order to keep Carlos Delgado in Toronto?
This impressive panorama was shot with the miraculous little ELF. The new ELF 2, the 2-time zoom camera that's the world's smallest. Have you seen all the ELFs? Only from Canon.
Holiday greetings from Budweiser. From our family to yours, we wish you a very safe and happy holiday season. Log on to dsports.com and take $20 off your purchase of $50 or more. dsports.com. Seize the D.
Oh, that's awful cold.
Poor baby. He'll be up all night.
Coughing.
Sneezing. No way he'll be up with the chickens.
No cold hands in the morning.
Sorry, girls, but he's getting NyQuil.
You need relief.
So I can rest.
And when he wakes up, he'll be ready to go.
Good morning, ladies.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
Ooh.
This impressive panorama was shot with the miraculous little ELF. The new ELF 2, the 2-time zoom camera that's the world's smallest. Have you seen all the ELFs? Only from Canon.
The Houston Rockets begin life AC. That's after Charles. Barkley's career ended Wednesday night after he suffered a severe knee injury. Barkley did accompany his teammates to Boston, but the Rockets and the league are now without one of the most colorful personalities in the history of the league. Says Houston coach Rudy T. We lose his experience, knowledge, and uniqueness.
What was the word?
Timeout. I get a 20. Our security blanket is gone. That's what Rudy T said to the Fleet Center. He tried to say, Charles Barkley, what do you have? He had a great run. Layup drill for Boston early. Celtics on the break, and I'm on the brink. Kenny Anderson drives to the hoop for the easy 2. Celtics continue to run. Anderson for the lay-in. Dana Barrows gives it back to Eric Williams for the lay-in. Paul Pierce to Purvis Ellison. A Purvis Ellison sighting. Hasn't had a haircut in a year. Boston up 17 at the half. Slow it down now. Barkley honored at the half, giving a piece of the old Boston Garden floor. Pick up the pace again, Rockets. Second half, Steve Francis all the way. Get there, Steve. Do it, baby. Catino Mobley, who had 23, finds Carlos Rogers. Kaboom. Rockets within one, less than a minute to go in the game. Bryce Drew ahead to Mobley. Blows a layup. Barkley and the Rockets hobble out of the Boston situation as the Celtics win it 100-96. As Barkley about the Rockets almost winning after trailing by 25. They could have quit. They made me feel good. Boston had 11 first-quarter steals, tying an NBA record. 8 different players accounted for the Celtics' 16 steals in the game. Nuggets and Hornets. Dan Issel's bunch without Ron Mercer out with the flu. James Posey on the break. Watch this. Uh-oh. More where that came from. Posey, alley-oop. Brick the alley-oop. Antonio McDyess. The alley. Oops. Little man in the stands. What happened? What happened? Chauncey Billups turns the ball over. The rookie, Baron Davis. All the way back the other way. Goes hard to the hole. Lays it up and good. And the Hornets win it 106-99. Anthony Mason, 21 points, 12 boards, 8 assists. Hornets stinging Denver for the 8th straight time. Hornets win even though Eldon Campbell and Derek Coleman missed the game because of the flu, and Bobby Phills missed his 5th straight game with a pulled hammy.
Well, in the same year that Lafitte Pincay wrote his first winner, 1964, Willie Shoemaker wrote his 5,000th. Pincay came to America as a 17-year-old from Panama and taught himself English by watching Hollywood Squares. Friday in the 6th race at Hollywood Park, Pincay took Irish Nip into the gate with a shot at passing Shoe as the winningest jockey in history. Wonder if he said, "I'll take Paul Lynde in the center square to block." Michael Rona had the call.
Into the stretch, 3/16 to go. Pincay still got the head in front with Irish Nip. Laps and bounds about to drop off, but Quiet One represents big danger on the outside. Past the 8th pole, Irish Nip still a length in front. Pincay gets a whiff of immortality as Irish Nip is finding plenty on the lead. Responding to the Pincay power, it's Irish Nip surging clear in its history at Hollywood Park.
Sadly, Peter Marshall wasn't there to witness it. Lafitte Pincay Jr. breaks Shoe's 29-year-old record, given the champagne shower and then a snapshot with the past and current all-time winner. Among his 8,834 wins, a Kentucky Derby and 3 Belmont Stakes, he also rode a firm to the Triple Crown in '78, and it all started for Lafitte May 19th, 1964.
Carlos Delgado is staying put in Toronto, but it's a deal that gives further evidence that it is indeed a player's market. Delgado signed a 3-year deal worth $36 million, but can demand a trade after just 1 season. If Delgado demands a trade in the 10 days after the World Series and the Jays don't deal him by February 15th, Delgado can become a free agent. What a deal.
It was a little crazy. It was a lot of phone calls. You know, sometimes things just heated up a little bit. But I'm glad that we were able to work a deal out, and both parties are happy. I'm extremely happy. I'm looking forward to the year 2000. I can't wait until we go to spring training. So, like I said before, enough with the soap opera. We're just going to go out and play ball.
Other baseball news, 12 years after he left the Mets, Jesse Orosco is going back to the Mets, traded by Baltimore to New York for another lefty reliever, Chuck McElroy. Orosco is a major league record holder in appearances and relief appearances. And the Cubs reach an agreement in principle to sign free agent catcher Joe Girardi, formerly of the Yanks. For other news now from baseball's winter meetings, Peter Gammons and Mark Schwartz from Anaheim.
A year ago, Jim Bowden came to these winter meetings and landed Denny Nagel, a 20-game winner, and Greg Vaughn, a guy who hit 50 home runs. Well, this year, Peter Gammons, Jim Bowden is trying to land even bigger game in Ken Griffey Jr. Is he going to do it?
I think so. I think by the time this thing gets over, I mean, this is the one place Griffey wants to play. I mean, there's a lot of problem with who really has the leverage, but I think it's all down to 1 or 2 players at this point. They start to meet at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. By the time they leave here on Tuesday, I really believe Griffey will end up in Cincinnati.
And proposal number 174 will be coming on Saturday morning. Peter, we hear all about Griffey. We hear the names Ishmael Valdez, Jim Edmonds, David Wells. Who are some of the guys we're not hearing about that very well may be moved this week?
Well, the biggest name in the lobby last night was Mike Hampton. They're really curious whether indeed, he's told Houston he won't sign. He's a free agent at the end of next year. And if he doesn't, then will they go out there and trade him? They want a young catcher, a young shortstop, some pitching. He's the #1 name. Travis Lee of Arizona, very interesting. They're willing to trade him for a power reliever to put in the middle to set up in front of Matt Manti. Travis Fryman is a possibility. The Indians are out there trying to find some pitching. I think he could be one of the most interesting guys there.
Yeah, you know, the Indians have won 5 straight division titles, but with Lofton's injury and again not getting the pitching they need, all this team needs is a closer, a left-handed reliever, a center fielder, a leadoff hitter, and a starting pitcher.
Well, they think they can close with Paul Shuey, but they do need a couple of pitchers. Now, one of the problems is that they can't trade Richie Sexton for starting pitching because, 1, Manny Ramirez is a free agent at the end of the year, and 2, with Kenny Lofton out for a while, they want to be able to have that extra bat there just in case there's some other problems. Now, they have talked to Chuck Finley. I still don't think he's going to end up there, but they could end up doing a couple of other trades, maybe sign 1 free agent pitcher, and they've cut the kid Baez, the Cuban. They think their pitching staff will be okay.
Biggest deal from day one, swap of left-handed relievers, Orozco to the Mets, McElroy to the Orioles. For Peter Gammons, I'm Mark Schwartz. Back to the studio.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Well, it is now an officially sanctioned sports center because you've just seen Vince Carter dunk. Raptors and Bucks coming your way.
Also ahead, a preview of Saturday night's Heisman show. Should the winner be Rondane?
Puzzled about how to finance your remodel or custom construction?
Apple Valley Mortgage offers a wide variety of construction options that help serve your specific building needs. Here is an example of a home being built with Apple Valley's Easy Construction Loan program. If you're in the market for a construction loan, call the experts at Apple Valley Mortgage and find out what sets us apart from the competition. At Apple Valley Mortgage, we deliver mortgages, not promises.
Tomorrow on ESPN. At 7, SportsCenter. At 8, the 99 Heisman Trophy presentation. And at 9, college basketball as Kentucky faces Maryland. On ESPN2 at 7, college basketball as Wisconsin takes on South Florida. At 9, National Hockey Night, Stars, Blues. And at midnight, NHL Tonight. And on ESPN Classic at 6, classic hockey, Stars, Sabres in the 99 Stanley Cup Finals. And at 9, college basketball classics. Do you have all the ESPN networks?
Ladies and gentlemen, SportsCenter proud to present for your viewing pleasure the Cavs and the Pacers. At least it was pleasurable for the Pacers. Rick Smits down low for the jam. Pacers by 1. The Dutchman soft to the basket. He had 16 in the first quarter, 25 in the game. Pacers by 10. I'm speeding up because these plays are cut very quickly. Then it got ugly. Off the steal, Reggie Miller down court for the breakaway layup. He had 13. Pacers by 13. Cavs falling down. Pacers knocking him down. Jalen Rose, jumper. He had 23. Pacers by 17 after 1. Second quarter, Dale Davis, give me that. Puts it back. He had 18. Pacers by 21. Pacers bench takes over. Austin Crozier throws it down. He had 4. Pacers lead 69-48 at the break, and then it got worse. Perkins at 3. He had 15. It's 115-70. Travis Best, the jumper. Pacers by 48. Chris Mullen inside. Pacers by 50. Then Al Harrington fade away. 126 points, and then Jonathan Bender off the injured list. You betcha. He rattles it in. He had 10. The Pacers shot 62% for the game. The Cavs didn't. 136-88. Very impressive, the Pacers' 5th straight win. The 48-point margin of victory, biggest ever for Indy over the Cavs. Summing it up perfectly, Cleveland's coach Randy Whitman said, quote, "Well, Mom said there'd be days like this." We move on. Bucks and Raptors. Second quarter, Bucks by 7 in transition. Ray Allen to Tim Thomas. No pitch. He had 12, but Milwaukee led by only 3 at the half when they turned to Sam Cassell. Cassell. Baseline J over Antonio Davis. Bucks by 7. Cassell inside the arc. He was 9 of 15 shooting. And then Sam breaks down D. Brown and hits it. Cassell 22. Toronto only 14 points in the third. Fourth quarter, Raptors down 12. When Vince Carter with the steal. It's a technical foul if anybody gets in his way. Pretty to watch. Raptors within 10. Carter with 25. But the Bucks pull away. Ray Allen. He had 14. Milwaukee cruises 107-91. The Raptors' 3-game winning streak now a part of Canadian history. Bucks playing their 5th game in 7 nights ended their 2-game losing stretch. Said Toronto's Butch Carter, quote, "They were nuking us with 20-footers."
After he set the NCAA's all-time rushing mark last season, Ricky Williams won the Heisman. This year, Ron Dayne broke Williams' record. Will he be awarded the Heisman on Saturday night? Well, the other finalists are quarterbacks Virginia Tech's Michael Vick, Purdue's Drew Brees, Marshall's Chad Pennington, and Georgia Tech's Joe Hamilton, who says about the winner, "You never know." We get more now from Chris Fowler.
Well, thank you, guys. Several times in recent years, we have been in this club on the Heisman Eve, and there has been some suspense in the air. I think everybody would be shocked if they didn't load that Heisman on the Dane train and headed back to Madison, Wisconsin. But there have been some issues in the '99 Heisman race. The 5 finalists based purely on the voting as of Monday in the 6 geographically balanced regions. Drew Brees at Purdue, Ron Dayne, of course, Joe Hamilton, the quarterback at Georgia Tech, Chad Pennington at Marshall, and a dark horse, Michael Vick, the freshman at Virginia Tech, coming off that perfect season. It's been a story, though, 3 guys who are not here. Thomas Jones of Virginia, but especially Peter Warrick of Florida State. His arrest, his suspension for 2 games, obviously a lot of folks left him completely off their ballot. That had Warrick disappointed and some Seminole fans upset. And Sean Alexander, a flood of emails to the club here. But this is national media voting in all regions. Alexander missing a game and being shut down by Tennessee obviously was a major factor.
Well, I think if you think about the Heisman race throughout the entire season, I think it was centered around the status of Peter Warrick. Once he made the costly mistake and took himself out of the race, it opened up the door for other candidates. And one of the guys that took advantage of that, the freshman quarterback at Virginia Tech, Michael Vick. He can run, he can throw, but the reason he's in New York City and the reason his team's undefeated is because of that poise. He has such great demeanor for a young quarterback.
You know, Kirk, when I studied the 5 people here and the 3 people who are not here, something jumped out of me, and I tell you what jumped out of me. The emphasis now in college football is the wide-open passing attack, therefore the quarterbacks are stars. And if a running back wants to get invited to this ceremony, he better do something spectacular. And I think that trend is going to go right into the next millennium.
Second straight year, all the finalists but one are quarterbacks, but that running back did do something spectacular. We'll see if Dane can get that sweep. He won the Walter Camp, he won the Doug Walker, he won the Maxwell. We'll see if he gets the '99 Heisman Trophy, presented by Wendy's. Hope you'll join us at 8 o'clock Eastern Time from the Downtown Athletic Club. Always a special evening here in New York City.
College Football Review and Heisman Update is brought to you by Wendy's, proud sponsor of the Wendy's High School Heisman Awards.
Coming up, why Roger Neilson's future behind the Flyers bench could be in jeopardy.
And Warren Sapp's got his eyes on Gus Frerotte this Sunday, and in his slightly elongated 2-minute drill, Chris Berman's got his eyes on the Bucks.
What's it like to bite into a Wendy's Classic half-pound double with cheese? Man, this is weird. Wendy's, it's hamburger bliss.
This is my daddy. He's a Gemini man. He fixes cars. He can fix anything. People like my dad. He says it's because they trust him.
Gemini Automotive Care, only where you see this sign.
Okay. Hi there, Michael Landrum here for Timex. Bringing you Timex's newest innovation, the Timex Turn and Pull Alarm Watch. Just turn the ring either way and pull the crown to set it for short or long-term reminders. Let's try setting it for 11 minutes. Just turn the ring and pull the crown. Next week, we'll discuss gum chewing. The Timex Turn and Pull Alarm Watch. So simple, we should have thought of it years ago.
There are these just 2 absolutely adorable little kids. They work very closely with my foster grandmother. She's this 83-year-old woman that is able to give them one-on-one attention. They're different kids, and when they walked in September, they're more sure of themselves. They're so happy, and the mom is happy. These little kids have a safe place to go, and that they come home excited.
It's time to get involved. This is General Colin Powell of America's Promise. Call us and point a kid in the right direction.
It's the most wonderful week of the year. There'll be tailgater hostings, kielbasa's for roastings with people you don't even know. There'll be Hail Mary stories and tales of the glories of bowl games from long, long ago. It's the most
Circuit City Bowl Week on ESPN begins December 25th.
You know, it's another week in the National Football League, and start your Sunday with NFL Countdown, a preview of all the day's games. Then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, highlights of all the games on NFL Primetime. And after NFL Primetime, it's our Sunday night game of the week is Kansas City battles Minnesota. Both teams one game out of first in their respective divisions.
Hey, some good news concerning Chargers quarterback Ryan Leaf. For once, Leaf resumed practice Friday without any problems. You might recall Thursday he jammed his surgically repaired shoulder in practice. Doctors think the sharp pain Leaf felt was caused by some scar tissue tearing. Leaf isn't expected to play much, though, the rest of the season. Speaking of football, and I believe we are and were, more now in the NFL, inside Chris Berman's 2-minute drill.
I don't know, maybe it's me, but as the century and the millennium draws to a close, seems like this is an NFL season of throwing the skeletons out of the closet, of sweeping some unfinished business under the rug. I mean, we've already seen the St. Louis Rams with 400 points scored this year win their first NFC West since 1985, when they were the Los Angeles Rams, when Eric Dickerson was lugging the ball in a ball control team at John Robinson. We've also seen the Rams this year, who had lost 17 straight to San Francisco, slapped the 49ers twice. And they lost 13 straight to George Seifert, and they beat his Carolina Panthers impressively twice. The Indianapolis Colts, who've scored the most points in the AFC, are trying to win a division for the first time since 1987, when, oddly enough, Eric Dickerson was an Indianapolis Colt and lugged the football for Ron Meyer. They're trying to get their first home playoff game since 1977. The Baltimore Colts, one of the great playoff games of all time, double overtime loss, the ghost to the post. Ken Stabler, Dave Casper, Oakland beat Baltimore 37-31. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now in position perhaps to win their first NFC North Division title since 1981. That was a team very much like this one. Great defense, led by Hall of Famer Leroy Selman, won a lot of 17-14 games. The latter-day Selman on the defensive line, Warren Sapp. He's excited.
You get ticket requests coming from Alaska right about now, and we won about 5 in a row, and we got it going right now, and we just want to keep it going. And a big game coming up again after Monday night. First place on the line again.
And as the Bucs strive for a rare division title, so does the team they came in with in 1976, the Seattle Seahawks. They've won only one division title in their history. That was the AFC West back in 1988, when Steve Largent was catching all those passes from Dave Craig. Cortez Kennedy has been a Seahawk since 1990. He's missed the good times. He can smell the playoffs.
We ready to go. Like I said, hey, we lost last week and lost to Tampa. The embarrassment over with now. It's time to just play ball and get to the playoff.
Even some of the men that haven't been around Seattle that long know that the last year of the millennium in the Pacific Northwest can be something awfully special.
The guys are excited about it. Shoot, they haven't been in this situation and playing this hard this late in a while, so they know what's ahead of them, and now we just got to figure out some way to get it done.
We've been 8-8 here for the last couple of years, and we want to get over that hump, and we want to go to the playoffs. We want to taste that second season when the games really start.
We are really close. We have a great chance. The fans deserve it. Everybody's done what it takes to get all the players here. Let's go ahead and get it done.
Before we go to the picks, I have a bone to pick. In this college bowl season, there are 5 .com bowls this year. We have the HomePoint.com Music City Bowl. We have the Crucial.com Humanitarian Bowl, although it's in one of my favorite places, Boise, Idaho, in the home of the Broncos, Boise State. That one's okay. The MicronPC.com Bowl in Miami, the Insight.com Bowl in Tucson, and the OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl. That's next millennium. Forget about it. Just play football. Just a thought. Thank you to Tony Dungy and the Tampa Bay Bucks. That 3-star selection looked awfully good after an 0-4 Sunday. Made us 3-4 for the week, 30-33 overall. Arizona is in the hunt. Can you believe it? Sure, and they're getting points at Washington. Why not? The Cards win their 5th straight by 1 over the Skins. San Francisco can't lose all the remaining games, can they? They win this one against Atlanta. Keyshawn Johnson and I ironed out a couple of things, and at the end of our conversation this week, he says, if I were the Swami, I'd look at the Jets at home against Miami. Keyshawn, just make the damn pick. Jets upset Miami 19-16. Seattle, ready to play a solid game on both sides of the ball. They beat San Diego 27-13. And those Tampa Bay Bucks, 3 stars last week, 2 stars this week. They keep it rolling in another big game at home against Detroit, 20-9. It's truly been a season to throw those skeletons out of the closet and make a sweep under the rug. The Swami is sweeping from behind for a big-time finish.
2-Minute Drill is brought to you by Fred Meyer Jewelers and Littman Jewelers for all those special times.
Still to come on SportsCenter, you won't believe what Roger Neilson says won't keep him from being behind the Flyers bench on game nights. That's coming.
Also ahead, would Indiana enjoy the taste of its Friday night cupcake? We'll find out when we come back.
I love the way you always treat me tenderly. But darling, most of all, I love how you love me.
Here at VMI, we were asked to try the Norelco Advantage for 21 days. There was quiet dissension.
I'm not giving up my blade.
And anxious inquiry.
The heck is this? Goo?
But then we started to realize the lotion actually gave us a closer, smoother shave than we expected, without the nicks and cuts of blades. Our fear diminished, our hopes arose, and life got a little less hairy.
Come on, babyface, move it!
The Norelco Advantage. It's guaranteed or your money back. Norelco, put it to the test.
Your car is gonna freeze all night. It won't start unless you fight.
Before your gas line turns to ice, pour in a beaker of new Prestone Cold Start Fuel Additive. It works double time to fight gas line freeze and clean your fuel injectors. From the cold weather specialists, now cold starting protection. New Prestone Cold Start.
Hit me with your best shot.
Get in the Prestone zone so nothing can stop you now.
Wow!
C on your sweater, it is a symbol of leadership that carries respect. Lindros and Pekka wear the C with honor, and they are the heartbeat of their teams. Flyers, Sabres, Tuesday at 8, only on ESPN. This is The Game.
College hoops. University of Buffalo, after playing North Carolina, travels to Indiana. Who made their schedule? Opening moments of the first half, Dane Fife had Billy issues. I misses the dunk. And Fife, layup, no. Blocked. Then Fife has it blocked again. Fife was 1 of 8 from the field, and Bob Knight Hoosiers actually trailed by too early. But then, of course, the Hoosiers became the Hoosiers, and Buffalo became Buffalo. Larry Richardson with the block, ahead to A.J. Guyton, who throws it down. He had 22. That's part of a 19-0 Hoosier run. Second half, Larry Campbell loses the inbounds. Fife ahead to Lewis.
He doesn't pick it up. Campbell couldn't touch it.
And Lewis is going to find Guyton for one of his 4 threes. 106-55 is your final. It's a mere 51-point blowout, the largest margin of victory for the Hoosiers in the Indiana Classic. At one point, the Bulls went more than 9 minutes without scoring. Different game, Middle Tennessee and Tennessee. Second half, Middle Tennessee leading. A Blue Raider air ball starts the break. Tony Harris leading the volunteer charge. Del Baker finishing it. He had 4 balls coming back. Ball's down 2, under a minute 40 to go. Harris buries the 3, then tries to bury the Blue Raiders, pumping up the crowd. He had 23 points and 10 assists. Blue Raiders huddle with 10 seconds left, down by 1. They're going to Ron McKnight on the baseline, but Ron slays him with the offensive foul, and the Vols hang on, 78-77. Thus, the 1-point win extends the Vols' home non-conference winning streak to 27 games. Said Harris before his 2 threes in the final minutes, quote, "The momentum was flowing and I had to do something." Meanwhile, UCLA has done something. They've suspended sophomore forward Jerron Rush from the basketball team while the school investigates some possible NCAA violations. Athletic Director Peter T. Dallas said there was no timetable to the investigation and that Rush's status will be determined at the end of the investigation. You might recall Rush was suspended for 1 game last season after reporting to school late from a holiday break.
His name is Legacy, but he doesn't have much of one as a goalie in the NHL. Manny Legacy, with just 2 career wins before this season, waived by Vancouver last month, picked up by Detroit. just trying for a chance. Maybe he has one now. The Wings' #1 goalie, Chris Osgood, out with a broken hand. Ken Reggett has been shaky as a backup, so Legacy got the start and the win Wednesday night against Nashville. How about Friday night against the Kings? We have highlights. Nicholas Lidstrom from the left point. Jamie Storr stops it, but Steve Yzerman with a goal. He's on a 4-game goal streak. Second period, Wings on the break. Yzerman tries to pass, but the puck ends up in the net instead. Yzerman credit for the 2-1 goal. Watch it again. Yzerman's pass, tipped by the Kings' Brian Smolinski. Whoops! Right into his own net. Third period, Legacy getting some things done. Jason Blake, the shot. Legacy made that save. Robitaille gets a rebound. And then another attempt is stopped by Legacy, who had 27 saves, and the Wings win at 3-1. Yzerman, the 2 goals. Legacy now has 4 career wins, 2 of them coming in the last 3 nights. It's the Kings' first loss in the last 5 games. Blues and the Predators. Blues can't clear. Greg Johnson, side of the net, stopped by Roman Turek.
What a great save by Turek.
Second period, Blues on the power play down 1-0. Pierre Turgeon, side of the net to Chris Pronger. He shoots and scores. It's a 1-1 game. Third period, St. Louis again on the power play. Al McGinnis to Scott Young. Scott Young shoots and scores. And the Blues win it 4-2. Turgeon a goal and an assist. Young 2 goals, 3 assists for Chris Pronger. Turek 20 saves, I should say 30 saves for Turek. He's 8-2-2 in his last 12 games.
Well, he's watched so much videotape in his career that Roger Neilson has earned the nickname Captain Video. Well, now the head coach of the Philadelphia Flyers is hoping to earn the nickname Captain Comeback. Friday, Neilson divulged he's battling bone marrow cancer. Neilson will begin 3 months of chemotherapy, followed by a likely bone marrow transplant. The Flyers team doctor, Jeff Hartzell, thinks a full recovery is possible. The 65-year-old Neilson is clearly ready for any possible outcome.
I'm going to be on chemo for, I guess, 3 months. I'll go bald.
Oh. This isn't about hockey. This is life. This is much deeper. Roger's a very spiritual man and very strong man. So we're behind him. We're supporting him, and we're just going to hope for the best.
If I can beat it, you can be sure I'm going to try to beat it. And if I can, as we said, in all due respect, I think heaven's a better place than Philadelphia.
Neilson says he doesn't expect to miss any games behind the bench while he's being treated. Fitting, I guess, when you consider nobody has ever coached more NHL teams than Roger Neilson.
Coming up on SportsCenter, will success at Marshall lead to a new opportunity for Bob Pruitt? And how would former Hawk Mookie Blaylock fare against his former team? Highlights and much more when we come back.
NFL Tonight, Tuesday through Saturday on ESPN2.
It's here, the Hot Rebel 2000. Rev it up. Score, new ball. Let cannon ignite your creativity. Rotation, Agassi. Soar past simple snapshots. And roar into photography. 3, 2, 1, go! Agassi. Rebel 2000 from Canon.
Enter the Canon Super Sunday Sweeps at your participating Canon dealer, and you may win a trip to the Super Bowl and Pro Bowl.
Come on, Michael, come on. Drop the hammer now. Looking good, Michael, looking good. Man, what a light. That's good enough to be the pole. Michael, you're not going to believe this. Not today, Mikey.
Make way for Cyberdale and his knock-knock, out-of-my-way rabid pack of pit bulls doing the jackhammer waltz. NASCAR 2000, EA Sports. It's in the game.
Where is my magazine?
Subscribers to ESPN the magazine, including Marcus Camby, really look forward to each new issue. They love the magazine and their free ESPN the magazine fleece pullover. It's a warm, roomy pullover, high-quality fleece with a half-zip front and embroidered ESPN the magazine logo. So call now for ESPN the magazine. Get 26 issues, a year's worth for just $1 an issue. 66% off the newsstand price. And your fleece pullover is free.
Hey, man, that's my ESPN the magazine. Go order your own.
Mr. Canby?
Call now for ESPN the magazine and your free police pullover. 1-800-491-9889.
Boom! Back to the ice. Thrashers and Sharks with a heavy base beat. First minute, first period, 1-0 Thrashers. Jeff Friesen blocks the slapper, heads the other way, but can't beat Scott Langau. Still 1-0 Thrashers after one. Second period, same score. Friesen with a dance mix version. Breaks in from the side of the net, but again, Langau stops him. But moments later, Friesen picks up the loose puck and says, "You shan't deny me 3 times." His 13th, we're tied at 1. Same score, Sharks power play. Alexander Korolak gets the post, but Mike Ricci bangs home the rebound, his 7th. And the Sharks win it 4-1. Sharks have a 4-game home unbeaten streak, 3-0-1, and move ahead of Phoenix into sole possession of first in the Pacific. Thrashers are 0-10-1 on the road versus any team not named the New York Islanders.
Blackhawks Sabres, Chicago's Blair Atchinham shooting it toward the net, and what do we have? What do we have? Puck goes off the skate of Jeff Sanderson and in. 1-0 Chicago. Third period, still 1-0 Blackhawks. Miroslav Shatan picks up the loose puck. He's got a goal. His 13th of the year. We're tied at 1. It's the Sabres' first goal in their last 162 minutes and 29 seconds. That is a drought. Third period, tied at 1. Maxim Afinogenov. You didn't think I'd get it out.
I had no shot.
You bet against me. Afinogenov, the game winner. Buffalo wins it 2-1. Sabres were winless in their previous 5 games and had won just 1 of 7 in which they scored only 9 goals. Goalie Steve Passmore, who won his first NHL game at Buffalo last March, made 27 saves, but it wasn't enough.
Well, saying loyalty was more important than tripling his salary, Marshall head football coach Bob Pruitt will stay the Marshall head football coach, turning down a much more lucrative deal to go to the University of Houston. The Cougars had scheduled a press conference for Monday to announce a new head coach. Pruitt ruined those plans by saying, quote, "I'm just glad the people in Huntington and at Marshall still want me."
In the NBA, the Nets want some offense. Would Keith Van Horn have the answer against the Beatables?
It's only a little scratch. What you need is GS27 Scratch Remover. GS27 gets rid of those surface scratches and paint swirls quickly and easily. Simply rub it into the scratch, then polish to a beautiful finish. The scratch is gone. GS27 is only $14.95. But order now and get a second tube for only $5. That's 2 for just $19.95.
To order, call 1-800-816-1717. That's 1-800-816-1717.
Hang one on your tree this Christmas. An Apollo pager with built-in FM radio. Hear the music and never miss a page. Just $39.95 at Telewaves.
Minnesota Vikings, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's ESPN Sunday Night Football.
Let me tell you, there's nothing more romantic than a rainy Minneapolis night.
Sounds like boopkiss to me.
Don't listen to him. He doesn't have a romantic bone in his body.
Oh, really? What about the time I was sharing that spaghetti with my best girl and we ended up eating the same noodle?
That was Lady in the Tramp.
Oh, you saw that.
It's the Vikings and the Chiefs on ESPN Sunday Night Football. It all begins with NFL Prime Time at 7:30.
What's it like to bite into a Wendy's Classic half-pound double with cheese? Man, this is weird. Wendy's, it's hamburger bliss.
We continue our countdown to the 50 greatest athletes of the century. Number 7, Jesse Owens. Actually, number 6, Jesse Owens. Next Friday night at 10, right here on ESPN. And then number 5, Wayne Gretzky. Also Friday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on ESPN.
On the ice, Flames beat the Canucks 3-2 despite Peter Schaefer's 8th goal, which leads all rookies, but all of them have come on the road. Flames stretched their home winning streak to 4 games. Despite Schaefer's prowess, the Canucks are winless in their last 8 road games.
It was January 19th, 1993. Hersey Hawkins played against the Nets, and he hasn't missed a game until Friday night when he couldn't play against the Nets. A streak of 527 straight games, the second longest active streak behind AC Green. During the run, Hawkins played for Charlotte, Philly, Seattle, and now Chicago, but he always played. A calf injury, though, has him out for a week or two. Without Hawkins, the Bulls against the Nets, and here's Hersey. Not used to wearing a suit.
That's because
second quarter, Dedrick Willoughby swatted Will Perdue, misses the putback. Corey Benjamin, what do we have?
Issues.
What do we got? What's happening? Tony Kukoc seeing the Bulls up 13 with their biggest lead of the season as they finally got a hoop there. Johnny Newman here is stripped. Back out to Stephon Marbury. Hasn't seen a shot he hasn't liked all year.
He's got time on the shot clock.
Keith Van Horn can't get the putback. Nets with just 9 fourth-quarter points, and Chicago wins at 71-69. The Nets fail to score 70 points for only the third time in franchise history. The Bulls now 2-15, avoid setting a record for the worst start in franchise history. Elton Brand, 16 points, 14 boards for the winners. Warriors of the Hawks. It's the former Hawk Mookie Blaylock to Antoine Jameson. Yes, can. Third quarter, Hawks down 74-60. J.R. Ryder. Big game. 34 points for him. But the story in this game was Blaylock. Warriors by only 4. We are late in the fourth quarter. Blaylock for 3. That's good. Warriors win it, ending their 11-game losing streak, 107-99. 9 points, 19 assists, 7 steals for the former Hawk, Blaylock. Said he, I'm thinking win. That trade is over with in the past. Chris Mills, 20 off the bench for the winners.
Still coming. Grant Hill threw this one in reverse. Could the Pistons reverse their fortunes and get back to 500?
Howie, think fast.
A piggy bank. Cellular phone. Are you trying to tell me something?
Yes, you can buy me this for what's in this. Let me.
You broke the bank.
A penny is hardly breaking the bank.
Buy an Ericsson, Motorola, or Samsung phone, some for only a penny, and get a free $50 check for airtime to help keep your family in touch. Only at Radio Shack, right around the corner.
Get in, get out, get what you want.
Which clamp is faster?
An old-fashioned screw-type clamp.
Or the revolutionary quick-grip bar clamp?
Let's watch closely.
Here they go!
And it's over! Amazing!
Oh.
Now for the instant replay.
And look at that! One finger on the quick-release trigger and the bar slides right into position.
And there, he's tightening the clamp by merely squeezing the quick-grip handle. And it's done! You know, unlocking the clamp again was a very nice touch.
Also available, the new Quick Grip Quick Change Bar Clamp Spreader.
Hi, and welcome to NFL Game Day 2000. Bill Dwyer here with Matt, Soft Rock Vescursion.
First in New England, where Keyshawn tiptoes past Ty Law. When you look this good, you should have mirrors on the ceiling.
I do. To Minnesota, where Robert Smith won't need a new clock this Christmas because thanks to Warren Sapp, he just got his clean.
And in Pittsburgh, Bettis tells Darren Woodson, hi, my name's Jerome. I'm 5'11", 243, and enjoy taking long runs into the end zone.
I'm Bill. He's Matt. Please don't forget to call us for all your bachelorette party needs.
ESPN Sports Century is a book that not only profiles the world's greatest athletes, but assembles a truly exceptional team of writers to chronicle the century decade by decade, giving meaning and context to our passion for sports. In words and pictures, it's the definitive book on sports in the 20th century. ESPN Sports Century, a great holiday gift for any sports fan. Available in bookstores now, or log on to espnstore.com.
NBA, Clippers, Pistons. First quarter, Pistons up early. This is the Jerry Stackhouse show. Facial on Michael Olowokandi. They're led by 8 at the break. Third quarter, Lamar Odom will miss. Lindsey Hunter will not miss finding Stackhouse, and he will not miss on the jam. 7 of 18 shooting, Pistons up by 10. Third quarter, more Pistons, more Stackhouse. Now watch the arrows. As Stackhouse curls, Derek Anderson expects Mo Taylor to switch. Taylor does not, leaving Stackhouse free for that. 23 points. Pistons win big, 107-83. Pistons back to 500. Clippers' 8th straight loss. They haven't won since November 23rd. Hill, by the way, with 27 points. He's now averaging more than 27 points a game for Detroit. Only 2 Pistons have ever had that many in a career, George Yardley and Dave Bing.
Canes and the Lightning. Archers. Bay. Watch him slide over here and do some things with the stick. Second period, tied at 1. Puck deflected to Chris Broughton. Spins to Stan Julia. Gotta go. 2-1 Tampa Bay at this point. Third period, more from Broughton and Darcy Tucker. 2-on-1 developing situation. Tucker to Broughton. Shoots and scores. 8th on the year for him. And the Ning snap a 10-game winless streak against Carolina with a 3-2 win. 28 saves for the former Ranger Dan Cloutier. An assist in the loss for Carolina's Ron Francis. He now has 1,057 assists, tied for 4th all-time with Mark Messier.
Well, shocking news for you. Went to a soccer game and a brawl broke out. No, really, there was a soccer brawl.
Today's Sports Century Classic Moment is brought to you by Pontiac, Montana.
Curly Lambeau's Packers avenged last year's championship loss to the Giants by shutting out New York 27-0. It's Green Bay's 5th NFL title in 11 seasons.
The Packers are to Green Bay what the Eiffel Tower is to Paris. The Green Bay Packers are their identity. It's unlike any professional sports city because it is the city.
December 10th, 1939.
Rugged Montana from Pontiac. With not one, but 2 sliding doors. Something handy for whoever's passing through. Life is more exciting in Montana.
Did you remember the milk?
Hey, don't forget, next Wednesday, the award-winning Outside the Lines takes you behind the bars for a look at the role of sports in the prison systems across America. One element looks at how inmate referees football games and deal with the ramifications of temporarily becoming the law while they're locked up. Outside the Lines, sports behind bars, showtime 7 o'clock Eastern next Wednesday on ESPN.
And we had a situation in the semifinals of South America's Mircosur Cup. Flamingo and Penarol. After the final whistle blew, a do-si-do and away they go. Are you kidding me? This is a major league fracas. Can we get some order, please? Flamingo in red and black won the game 3-2. But, I mean, this is incredible. Let's go to some real soccer, shall we? Men's college soccer, the national semifinals. UConn Santa Clara, Sean Purcell in the 4th OT shoots and scores, and Santa Clara wins it by the score of 2-1. The other national semi, UCLA Indiana, tied at 2, also in the 4th OT. Ryan Mack will get the ball and then shoot between 2 Bruins. That's the game winner. Indiana wins that semi 3-2, also in 4 OTs.
Still to come, Ron Dane going to probably win the Heisman, but he also has something with our Did You Know?
Captain, I need air support here.
Heading 260 inbound, rear family room.
Turn that crap off.
Now that's ballet!
Introducing Armyman Air Attack. Now cleared for takeoff on the PlayStation game console. Real combat, plastic men.
This is my daddy. He's a Gemini man. He fixes cars. He can fix anything. People like my dad. He says it's because they trust him.
Gemini Automotive Care, only where you see this sign.
Millstone whole bean coffees. All you need is a taste for adventure.
On an all-new Hoops Malone, Casey practices for the talent show.
Take it easy. Rick Majerus is coming over in a minute, and I'm handcuffed to some space alien.
But it's Hoops who uses some sleight of hand.
Are you handcuffed to a space alien?
Hoops Malone is brought to you by College Hoops on ESPN.
Hey, don't forget the Heisman Trophy going to be awarded Saturday here on ESPN. 5 finalists, but right now in New York, all signs do point toward a Ron Dane coronation.
And did you know that the only Heisman Trophy winner not born in the U.S., 1954 winner Alan Amici, who happens to be the only Wisconsin Badger to win the Heisman. Dane could become the second. Amici, born in Italy, played 6 years in the NFL with Baltimore.
And also scored the great touchdown in the greatest game ever. Thanks for watching. I'm Trey Wingo.
I'm Bill Pidto. We'll see you.
Sports Center is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Proud to be celebrating our 20th anniversary. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.